What is going on, guys? And ESPN dropped their top 25 players, NBA players of the 21st century. Let's check it out. I took 25 screenshots. It filled up my camera roll a lot. I kind of ignored what players were there, so I don't really know. I know where some players are. Obviously, you know who's going to be at 1 and the top few, but we're going to check it out. Starting it off, we got Luka Doncic at 25. He made the NBA Finals this year, carried his team there. He was amazing. He totally deserves it. Checking in at 24, we got Pau Gasol. Don't know much about him. Didn't really watch many of his games or anything. He did retire when I was like 8 years old, I think, but you got him at 24. Checking in at 23, we got Russell Westbrook. Not sure why he's wearing a Lakers jersey in this. He should be wearing a Thunder or Rockets jersey, specifically the Thunder. But he won an MVP, averaged a triple-double. He did fall off towards the end of his career, which is happening right now, but he was an amazing player in his prime. So yeah, as I said, I don't remember what happened, and I forgot that Draymond Green was 22 on this list. He did crack the top 22. I don't remember Klay Thompson being on here, but we will see. Won 4 championships, was a Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time All-NBA, made a couple All-Star teams. He was an amazing player back in his prime, and he's one of those players that can age really well. Checking in at 21, we got Tony Parker, key piece of some championship Spurs teams, and was an amazing player. I wonder if Manu's going to be higher than him, though. Checking in at 20, we got Ray Allen, an amazing player, one of the best shooters of all time, and won a few championships, was key pieces, hit a big shot, one of the biggest shots in NBA history, arguably the biggest one ever. Checking in at 19, we got Anthony Davis. I honestly feel he has the ability to be higher. He's won 1 championship. I feel like he could have won a second one somewhere in that time. Really, the only thing that's keeping him down, those injuries. If he doesn't get injured, he's probably arguably one of the best players in today's NBA and probably a little higher up on this list. At number 18, we got Allen Iverson, one of the best players of all time, one of the most skilled players of all time. Never won a championship, did win an MVP. The championship is what's holding him back, though. Wow, so Manu does check in at 17. I did not think he would. I said with Tony Parker, but I guess Manu may have been a little better than Tony Parker in this era. I don't know. Comment down below who's better, Manu or Tony Parker, but Manu checks in at number 17. At 16, we've got Kawhi Leonard, one of the best defenders in today's NBA. Does get injured a lot, which is one of his problems. And he has won a couple championships, led his team to a couple championships, and won a Finals MVP as a really young player. At 15, we got Chris Paul, the point guard, one of the best point guards, true point guards in NBA history. He checks in at 15. I think of these guys very similarly, Chris Paul and Jason Kidd. They just have very similar play styles. I don't know. Comment down below if I'm wrong, but Jason Kidd checks in at 14. At 13, we got James Harden. He kind of turned into a Jason Kidd type Chris Paul player towards the end of his career. But in his prime as a Rocket, he was an absolute beast. Another true point guard, we got Steve Nash, who checks in at number 12. He won a couple MVPs. They were kind of not great MVPs, but they're still MVPs at the end of the day. Another true point guard, as I like to say. At 11, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. If he just remains healthy, he could become up to maybe 2 or 3 on this list. Maybe 3 or 4 on this list. Now, the list will probably change just because it's 21st century. There will be a lot of good players. Jokic will obviously get higher. He has won an MVP, though. He's been one of the most dominant players in the last 5 years. At 10, we got Dirk Nowitzki. I think he was right that they did put him ahead of Giannis. Giannis will eventually get past him. Giannis will win 1 or 2 more rings, in my opinion. But for now, Dirk can stay ahead of Giannis. And this right here is just awful. We got KD at 9. I think he should be top 5 on this list. He won a couple championships, has been one of the best players in the NBA. He's like the third face of the NBA behind Steph and LeBron, in my opinion, right now. He has had injury problems, his little snake thingy where everybody calls him a snake for just leaving teams and stuff like that. Going to join superstars has been a problem, but he checks in at 9, should be higher. At 8, we got Dwayne Wade, an amazing player, just retired a couple years ago. At 7, we got a 3-time MVP, Nikola Jokic. Comment down below if him or Giannis should be higher. Obviously, they've been playing for a similar amount of time. I think Giannis is maybe a year or 2 older. They both won a ring. They've both been so crazy good and dominate in their times. At 6, we got Kevin Garnett, who won an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics. And again, comment down below, him or Dirk. That's been a big discussion. I think it's him, though. At 5, we got Shaquille O'Neal. He played a lot in the 90s, too, but he was also amazing in the 2000s. 4, we've got Mr. Fundamentals. Tim Duncan won an MVP, a couple championships in the 2000s. What a player he was, and Steph said that if you could choose any player to go back and play with, it would be Tim Duncan, so that's interesting. And speaking of Steph Curry, at number 3, my favorite player of all time, we got Steph. The greatest shooter of all time has won 4 rings, a couple MVPs, the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. In my opinion, he's probably top 4 player of all time. At 2, we've got Kobe Bryant. What a player he was. Probably going to go run some 2K with him in a minute on my stream, so go check that out. And then, yeah, we all knew that LeBron was going to be at 1, arguably the best player of all time, and Jordan didn't even play in today's era, so he's easily the best. Hopefully him and Steph can lead Team USA to a Olympics gold medal. I'll be streaming some of the games, so stay tuned for that and catch my stream later. But that's it for this video, and peace.